Prostate cancer metastasis. Definition. Prostate cancer is one of the most common types of cancer in men. Prostate cancer usually grows shallow and initially remains confined to the prostate glands where it is not causing serious harm. While some types of prostate cancer grow shallow and might need minimal or no treatment of the typical heart aggression and can express kickback. Most prostate cancers are free force during screening with a prostate-specific antigenic blood test and or a digital rectal ensample. Leves are a transrectal ultrasonido is performed.
My name is Shiv Bhanot. I am a urologist and I work at King George Hospital in East London. Prostate cancer can be divided into different stages. It can be within the prostate, we call it early or localized, locally advanced, or it may be cancer which has spread to far off places, which we call metastatic prostate cancer. Advanced prostate cancer, we have two aims of treatment. First and foremost is to keep the symptoms under control. And the second aim we have is to keep the cancer under control. Now, all treatments have their side effects. And if a man has already got cancer which has spread to other parts of the body, then it's important that we keep the quality of life as good as we can.
Application in nursing. Nursing care focuses on providing patients with accurate information to the make informed decision regarding the treatment for air-standard disease, on promotion, comfort, and on prevention and managing the treatment and disease-related complications.
I am 73 years old. I've lived most of my life south of Boston. Always had a very active life. Enjoy activities with my grandsons as well as my 5 sons. I was denied life insurance coverage because of my very high PSA. I had a PSA of 14, so that is what got me to see a urologist, and the process where it was determined that I definitely had prostate cancer. It was 18 years ago. I was 55 years old at the time. I was literally numb to what the news was. At 55 years old, that was the last thing on my mind, or if it was on my mind at all. I was numb to the extent that I drove by the exit where I lived off the highway several times and had to turn around and come back to my exit. Times are different now, certainly, but at the time that I was diagnosed, I felt that people would think that I had received a death sentence. A local urologist, he said I had a maximum of 5 years to live because of the severity of my cancer. I did not want my life to change because of this diagnosis. I consciously tried to live my life without any change to my lifestyle or anything else. I continued my activities. I continued my business. My initial treatment, which was hormone therapy as well as external beam radiation between the years 2000 and 2001. And for 5 years, it didn't show up. And at the end of 5 years, my PSA started to rise. So I elected to have this surgery in 2006.
Pros and cons. Almost 14% of patients coming with advanced disease have been attributed to T-dissociasis of people manic of doses wax. Higher diagnóstico early and with a high probability for cure-free sexual diffusion and incontinence after tetrans, homeware acts no left that information about the explanation center of penile prostate and speakers for incontinence might not have big dissemination among the patients and thesis collateral problems are theater with surgeon and theater.
Targeting the Rankel pathway, putting the brakes on prostate cancer progression in bone. The spread of prostate cancer, PC, to bone represents a critical turning point in disease progression and occurs in 90% of lethal cases. A majority of patients with metastatic castration-resistant prostate cancer develop bone metastases, which may bring a significant risk of skeletal-related events. Continuous bone remodeling is essential for skeletal integrity and strength. Bone homeostasis describes the scenario when resorption and rebuilding are appropriately balanced. Osteoclasts and osteoblasts are specialized cells that exist within the bone microenvironment and display a yin and yang type of relationship, with osteoclasts breaking down bone while osteoblasts lay new matrix. In response to cytokines and hormones, osteoclast precursors mature, fuse, adhere to bone, and release resorptive enzymes that form pits in bone. Rankel-expressing osteoblasts are recruited by osteoclasts to bone resorption sites where they proliferate, differentiate, and release osteoid to form new bone matrix. In the setting of bone metastasis, a vicious cycle of bone destruction and tumor growth emerges as a consequence of tumor-induced dysregulation. Because excess osteoclast activity is a key mediator of SREs in metastatic cancer, osteoclast inhibition has emerged as a major bone protective strategy. Denosumab is a humanized antibody that blocks Rankel binding to its receptor on osteoclasts. Osteoclast maturation is inhibited by the interference of Rankel signaling, resulting in reduced bone resorption. Preclinical models demonstrated that denosumab improved bone density and volume by reducing resorption compared to bisphosphonates. Denosumab was also found to be superior in lengthening time to SREs and suppressing bone turnover.
It should have application in Ecuador. Prostate cancer is the most common in Ecuador men has been 20,020. Transnational tumor region estimated 38 big new patients with this disease. Prostate cancer has reclapsed gastric fears of incidence and mortality in men. However, incompatible volume ratio with all other tumors in representation for neotonic third party in mortality.
Considerations in advanced prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer among men in the United States, excluding certain skin cancers. A common misperception about prostate cancer is that it is rarely fatal. In fact, it is the second leading cause of cancer-related death among men in the United States. While it is true that prostate cancer is largely curable when diagnosed and treated early, patients with advanced prostate cancer have a less favorable prognosis. Advanced prostate cancer is defined as cancer that has spread beyond the original tumor. The most recent statistics estimate that 3 out of 10 men are still alive 5 years after being diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer. Male hormones, such as testosterone, cause prostate cancer to grow and survive. Early treatments for prostate cancer attempt to lower levels of testosterone in the body. This is known as hormone therapy. However, prostate cancer tumors may eventually begin to grow again, even though levels of testosterone in the body are low. At this point, the cancer is considered to be advanced. Researchers are studying why this occurs to gain a better understanding of how to develop treatments for prostate cancer. Talk to your doctor about questions you may have about advanced prostate cancer. Recent basic science and medical evidence suggest that one possible reason that tumors continue to grow is that they become extremely sensitive to the low levels of testosterone that surround them. In this way, tumors can
Conclusion. Cancer originating with health prostate cells cancer and proliferation uncontrolled and from a tumor can be cancer of benign prostate cancer is usually with compared to other types of cancer. This is because many prostate tumors do not stupid radio to other parts of their body. Some types of prostate cancer from very surely and might not causes symptoms or problems for shared or never, even when prostate cancer has shared to other parts of their body. It can also be controlled for a long time, allowing men even with advanced prostate cancer to live in good healthy quality of life for many years.
Prostate cancer. It's treatable, right? So what's the big deal? About 30,000 lives could be lost this year. That's the big deal. And that's just in the U.S. But let's back up a little bit. For every 6 men in the U.S., one of them is going to develop prostate cancer at some point in their lives. When a man is diagnosed with prostate cancer, there's no way of knowing right away how serious the disease could become. And this year in the U.S. alone, it's estimated that about 240,000 new cases of prostate cancer will be diagnosed. What does the number 240,000 even look like? It's huge. The Superdome in Louisiana can seat about 70,000 people. 240,000 is more than 3 Superdomes filled with our fathers, sons, brothers, and uncles who will find out they have newly diagnosed prostate cancer this year. The thing is, many men with prostate cancer really don't feel comfortable talking about it. And what about the thousands of men who die every year from prostate cancer? Let's put that into perspective. People always say flying is a pretty safe way to travel, especially if you compare it to driving. According to the most recent statistics, the number of men who are estimated to die from prostate cancer in the U.S. is nearly the same as the number of people who die in a year in driving accidents. If cancers were in a competition, prostate cancer would win silver every year, as it's the second leading cause of cancer-related deaths among men.